Hi, in this video I'm going to go through my favorite version of the lunge. Lunge is a super useful skill to have because it's the way that you will get to the ground and the way that you will get back up from the ground. The variation that I really enjoy using and starting people on is the reverse lunge because your foot, which looks like this. I'll show it to you first. So I'm going back and then come back up. In this version of the lunge, I still have this leg to assist me, and it's in contact with the ground all the time. So I don't need to be pushing off, like if I were to do a simple reverse lunge, not just pushing up to come up with that leg. I can't quite do that when I'm doing the reverse lunge with a slider underneath or a towel, okay? I can't push off because it's gonna slide back. So I really need to focus on this front leg to use the hip, the knee, and all the lower extremity muscles to get me back up. For this one, you're gonna be using a towel. You can do it in your sock. You obviously need a surface where the towel will slide on. If you're on a carpet, you can get those carpet sliders also to do them. Key for this leg, as long as wherever it goes, right? So it can be, you can keep the leg straight if it's more comfortable for you, or you can bring it down, keep it closer to you. It's really for comfort on this one. Obviously, don't strain the back leg. If you feel like it's stretching the back leg too much, maybe keep it closer to you and don't stretch it out so far, or keep it straight. Keys for the lunge, whenever you're doing a lunge, the base of support, so when you are stepping back, stepping forward, whichever lunge you're doing, just be sure you have a good base of support, right? You don't need to be on a this like balance beam doing your lunge unless that's what you want to do and practice. So base of support is really important. If we start from the ground up, then you want to be careful. So foot, be sure that it's splayed, you have full contact. Don't be toe gripping or scrunching your toes or flaring them. Splay your foot and lay it flat on the ground. Another thing you want to pay attention to, and you might want to get it evaluated by someone that is trained in looking at movement. If your ankle, you see that it starts to collapse towards the inside when you're doing your lunge, just be sure to get that corrected. It might just be a fault or not necessarily a weakness, but muscles that aren't working properly together or compensating for each other. Another fault would be the knee coming in when you're doing your lunge. So this way, you want to be sure to keep that knee out. One way that I usually explain it is you want your femur, so your thigh bone, you want that rotating out. It's like it's doing an external rotation as you're doing the exercise. So we've covered foot, ankle, knee. There might be other faults also that you might catch on to. These are the main ones that we'll usually see. Next one is hips. One thing you want to be careful of, and that I see a lot of people do, is they start reaching for the ground with this leg that goes back, okay? So if I'm doing my lunge, then I come to here and I'm like, oh, I'm so close to getting to the ground. And then they start reaching with that knee for the ground. So do you see what happened to my pelvis here? I completely lost my core and now I'm kind of in a side bend and I'm reaching for the ground, okay? This also causes issues with rotators of your hip. So it's just an unbalanced movement. When you're thinking of coming down, don't think of going to touch the ground with your knee. Think of bringing your hips down as low as you can to stay level this way, okay? And then last tip, when you're doing a lunge, think that the movement is coming from your ankle, knee, and hip, okay? Going down, I bent at my ankle, knee, and hip. So to come back up, I'm gonna straighten at my ankle, knee, and hip, okay? So think of straightening that hip out when you are coming up also. Knees over toes is okay, okay? That's okay. You would have to do that, right? When you're gonna go down on the ground, you're not gonna be coming up Let's say that you were on the ground, you need to stand up. You're not going to be doing this to come up, okay? You're going to be moving your knee forward to shift your center of gravity and center of mass over your base of support, which is your shoe right now. You're going to shift that over that side to get you up, okay? And try that out.